Hey, my name's Anthony O'Connell. I'm a man with a high voice and a podcast. We do a feast or pass, rate it 1 to feast, great dining experiences, and more. Josh Waddle's my friend, comedian, and foodie. We open up with feast or pass, strangers' food they leave behind at restaurants. When he worked at a pizza shop, a customer ordered a 6-pack of Diet Coke every day, wearing a fancy outfit to a fast food restaurant, ordering a rare burger at a greasy spoon, mac and cheese, breadcrumbs, or no. Best gyro in Columbus, Ohio, Uber Eats driver stories, and more. So let's get right into it. I like to start off with feast or pass. So this one's specific to you. Other people's food at a restaurant that has been left behind, feast or pass?
Oh, we're diving right into this. You're just feast, absolutely. Yeah, Vulture Boys, stand up. That's I just don't like to see food go to waste. And this, I don't even remember where it necessarily started, but like it was probably just out at a bar that someone left like half a pizza behind, and like they haven't touched it. Like this pizza is just sitting here. It's just begging to like they left, they're gone, they're not eating it, and like it's just sitting there. And I'm probably a drink or so in at this point, a couple, and then I'm like, you know what, I want that leftover pizza. And then that gave the birth to vulturing, my vulturing habits of like things that like it's stuff that it's like not like a half-eaten sandwich. I'm not a total animal, but like things like nachos, pizza, French fries, like finger foods where it's like this hasn't been like touched or like this molested by someone else's hands at this point. And yeah, it's like I'm just gonna dive in. First of all, I'm cheap as hell, so I'm just like, yeah, like why would I pay for food when someone else is just gonna leave this behind? But then also, like it just keeps up my immune system. I never get sick because I eat other people's trash. Like this is it. Like this is, and at this point too, it's like my friends like now this instigate it. They're like, hey Josh, like yeah, there's some cold chips over here, and it's just like if it's chips, like all right, I'll probably take a couple. It won't be my favorite, but yeah, definitely like a nacho or a pizza. Now I've got like other friends on it too, and when I said Vulture Boys, when me and my buddies are like we're out at like a bar or something like that, and someone finds something, we know because we'll start. One of us will start making these cawing noises, which I don't even know if vultures caw. Like we're just
As far as I'm concerned,
across
they
the
do.
bar. Yeah. I mean, they're birds, so I assume they do something. Yeah, we'll hear one of us start going, ah, ah, and like you'll see the rest of us like meerkats, like popping our heads up like above like dirt as we just like look up and like we're just looking around to find out where the call was because we know he found something. Someone found a pizza.
So now that you have this reputation of feasting on refuse, are there ever times where you're not really feeling it, but you feel like you have a reputation to uphold? So you're like, I don't really want that nacho, but the gang needs me to do it, so I'm gonna chomp on this nacho.
Yeah, that's absolutely because it's reached a point where it's like, oh, this is just a bit now, and it's like I need to commit to the bit. And if I don't do this, people are going to be disappointed because they'll be like, "Oh, I had an opportunity to see Josh eat trash, and I didn't do it." Like I think probably probably not the smartest move on my part, but there was like that week in like March where it was like between like where COVID was definitely becoming a thing, and they kind of started to shut stuff down, but it wasn't like total shutdown yet where it's like kind of like where we are. But like there was that week where it was like some stuff was still allowed. I remember I went to a comedy show at a bar like during that one week, and like my buddy Ed found like half of a pizza that someone left behind. And this was at the point where it's like, all right, I probably shouldn't be eating people's leftovers right now. COVID is a thing. It's like it's this is these are dangerous times. I left it alone probably like 45 minutes until like the hunger struck, and I'm like, you know what? I want to slice this pizza. It wasn't even that good either. I forget, like it was weird. It was like jalapenos and pineapple. Like it was kind of odd, but I ate it. And I'm still here. So
when I think about it, it sounds insane, but when I hear you talk about it, it makes so much sense because you said you're cheap, so boom, you're saving money, and then also you're stopping waste, which I think is great. People hate waste, and you're stopping that, and it's a bit. I feel like it's 3 for 3. I'm not going to start doing it, but I'm tempted.
It's the three-peat, baby.
So next thing I like to do is we rate things 1 to feast. It's like a 1 to 5 scale, but we say feast for branding reasons. How about Chipotle? 1 to feast.
I'll say like a 4. I remember like when Chipotle first started, and it's like, oh my god, like this is like a Subway kind of thing where you just build your stuff, and it was like cool. And like now it's like it's there, and like it's not my top choice, and but
It's kind of fallen off a little bit. I do agree in the past couple years. I don't know if my palate's improved and or Chipotle's fallen off a bit, but for me, it's definitely used to be a hard feast, but now I'd say probably 3.5 to a 4, probably for me. Do you do a bowl or a burrito?
I usually do the bowl. Although, see, I said that like last time I went, like some months ago, I got like an actual burrito, and like it was like the special thing because I had not had a burrito there in so long. I just usually get like the sad bowl of like lettuce with like stuff on top. But then like I had that burrito, and like I don't know something about like I love how it's just all separated inside of it, so that at one point you're just gonna get like an entire mouthful of like sour cream, and it's this is part of the experience.
Now, I don't know if this is like a Karen move, but I've seen some customers when they get the burrito, they request the person to mix it up for them. I'm too anxious to pull that off, but what do you think about that? You think that would taste better, or do you like it where it's like a bite full of rice and then a bite full of protein? Do you like it separate, or would you think mixed would be better?
You know, I would say the mix would probably be better, but yeah, I'm like you. I would never ask. So like I feel like I'm enough of a burden on people just by like being around them, like let
A
alone
special
asking
request?
anybody to do something for me. Especially something so mean. It's like, excuse me, sir, can you mix up all that pilot stuff on my burrito wrap?
How about boneless wings? One to feast.
I mean, I love wings of any sort. I'm definitely more bone in. Bone in, I like more. But like a boneless, like yeah, like when you, especially where you can just go this whole hog, and just dive into them. You know, you got to like eat around anything. Like yeah, I give them a. I mean, yeah, still 4.5. Like for me, like bone in, feast, boneless, 4.5.
That's fair. The boneless are great for dipping. And when it comes to dipping, are you a ranch or blue cheese guy?
Definitely blue cheese. Although for the longest time I was very vehemently against ranch. I think partially from like kind of growing up in Kentucky, where like ranch was like their thing, and I was like, screw these people. I'm team blue cheese, which like I do like. I love a good blue cheese just on anything. Of just the good funk that you get from it. But like lately I've kind of come around to like I don't mind ranch. I think partially because like I don't know, I don't like Roosters blue cheese dressing, so every time I go to Roosters I'll get ranch because I like the ranch more than I like the blue cheese. So it's kind of it's brought me around. And then,
It's funny how ranch is so polarizing. Like people love like aiolis or they love like other dressings, but for some reason ranch, I think it's maybe like a part class thing or something. Like people just look down on it. People love to hate ranch. It's very interesting to me. I can't understand it.
kind of yeah, it is like kind of a guilty pleasure where it's like this kind of this like I mean the best way possible I mean this, but this like kind of trashy thing of just like ranch like and it's just good. Yeah, yeah, who doesn't like dipping stuff or drizzling sauce on top of something.
A ranch hose like Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
So Josh, when you worked at Donato's back in the day, do you have any like wild stories of like maybe a really annoying customer or like a super specific request or anything crazy like that?
Yeah, we this older gentleman who would call in, his name was Mr. Case. He would call in about every day, sometimes twice a day.
Just a chat
And
or he
like
was ordering?
no, definitely not the chat because that was part of the thing. If you got a call from Mr. Case, like you were not to like make small talk. You were not like you didn't like usually we would have to like verify their address and their phone number. You got him, you were told like to not do that. I think maybe like we start off with the phone number, then this pulls up all their information that's saved in the computer. It's like don't verify his information. He calls all the time. He doesn't want to do this. He'll just get mad because that's what he would do. Like if you tried to like verify stuff, he'd like ask to talk to the manager.
Oh my
But
God.
like, oh yeah, but so the weirdest thing was like the only thing that he would order probably 90% of the time be 6 20-ounce Diet Cokes for delivery.
Oh my gosh.
And
Who
that's it.
orders
That's it.
soda
Like
from a pizza place?
this guy, yeah, this crazy cranky old man. Like he would every now and then he'd maybe get like a sub or like a bag of chips. But like it was like we were this little, this is pre Uber Eats. This it's been like 2006, 2007. So like yeah, this is this, he probably couldn't make it down to a convenience store. So
Was he tipping? He doesn't seem like he would be a tipper.
I don't think he was. I know I never asked any of the delivery folks. But yeah, like it was just a constant thing. Like it was multiple times, at least once a day for the most part. Yeah, just have 6 20-ounce Diet Cokes delivered.
It sounds kind of crazy, but he was like weirdly ahead of his time because nowadays, I don't know the name of the service, but you can get anything delivered for a fee. Like you can have someone go to CVS for you and pick up whatever. And you know what I'm talking about? I think it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
Postmates
like
or something. I don't know the name of it, but there's some kind
yeah,
of app.
one of those apps that the kids use.
These crazy apps. Hey, just wanted to say thank you so much for listening so far. If you're liking it, please subscribe, tell a friend. If you're loving it, please give us a 5-star review. What do you think makes a great dining experience besides 6 Diet Cokes delivered to your house?
Yeah.
Because obviously that
I
guy's
mean,
crushing it. That's a great dining
yeah.
experience for him. But for you, what makes a great dining experience?
For me, like I love getting to try like new foods. So like for me, like anytime like I can get to like go to a restaurant and like try something that I've never had before or something that's like completely unique that I can't get somewhere else, like that's what makes like a special like dining like experience for me. And every now and then, like I said too, it's like kind of be, I as somebody who regularly eats trash, I don't like go out like to like kind of like fancy dining experiences too often. So like that's something too. It's like for me, it's special whenever I get like go to somewhere that's like kind of like expensive, and I get like they go put on like a tie and a vest, actually kind of like get dressed up, and it's kind of get the hell a nice full experience like that. That's something I always enjoy.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I tend to eat places that are like 1 to 2 money signs. I very rarely eat 3 to 4 money signs. But you know what's interesting is when I have went to fancy places in the past, like when I lived in New York City, I went to, I think it's called the Gramercy Tavern. Have you heard of this place?
No, I don't think I have.
It's one of those, like, they do like 15 courses and it's super fancy and crazy expensive. But I went in there and I was expecting it to be stuffy and I was feeling kind of insecure and nervous, but it was like so casual, so chill, and the service was amazing. Like they seemed natural and they seemed to genuinely love their job, which I think is rare. Like most of the 1 to 2 money signs are kind of like, you're bothering me, or here's your food, you idiot. But at this place, she brings out the amuse bouche. Are you familiar with the amuse bouche?
I don't know. I'm not.
So that
What's
it's a French word. Basically, it's to get your appetite ready. So it's like a small little free treat. You don't order it; it just comes out. You eat it, and then they start bringing you all these courses. And yeah, it was awesome. And it is kind of cool to be fancy. Like maybe I should just dress fancy to like a normal restaurant.
yeah, I just want to roll into a like a church's chicken, just like completely like dressed up head to toe.
Hey, that'd be cool.
I think it's funny, like one of my favorite like times of the year. It's my dad's company. They always do this nice Christmas party. They do a whole it's at this real nice like steakhouse down in Lexington, Kentucky, and like they're nice enough like so everyone who works there, like everyone's family is invited. Like spouses and children, which like my dad, that's what my dad's like, hey, I'll bring, they don't mind that. It's like, hey, can I, he brings his son. The only difference is that everyone else's children are like maybe 9 tops, and it's just like, oh yeah, here's my 32-year-old son who you're still like allowing me to bring, but like it's so because we get this like private room. It's on like this like top floor of the building, and then like all the drinks or anything are all covered, and we get you get like a nice fillet for dinner, and it's all just covered by the company, and that's like and you dress up for it, like I was saying, and yeah, it's like that's like it's probably like my favorite meal of the year that I can kind of like count on happening like every year.
That's incredible. And it's fun to hang out with your folks too. I'm sure they're a good hang.
Yeah, they're fun, and it's funny because like yeah, everyone my dad works with is just they all love him. So me and my mom just get to like sit and listen to all of them like, oh, Sean's so great, blah blah blah. It's like, all right, blah blah blah. Give me
Give me
give me
filet.
more. Yeah, give me more of this prosecco. Yeah.
Are you a mid rare guy or are you a rare?
I usually go mid rare, but like I don't mind. I don't mind if it's on the rarer side of mid rare because like a lot of times I'll ask for rare at like a lot of places just because I find that you tend to kind of overdo it. So like I'll ask for rare with the intent of getting it mid rare, but like if it comes out rare, it's like all right, like well this is what I asked for.
You have to really trust a restaurant to A, cook it to the temperature you request, and B, if you're going to go mid rare like I like, you have to really trust them because if it's kind of sketchy meat, mid rare can be risky business.
I have a story about that because me and a friend were at TJ's Country Kitchen, I believe the full
Oh
title
boy.
of it.
Were you hammered? I don't know if people go there sober.
I don't think I've ever been there during the daylight hours. Like it's always like at least like by midnight or later. So yeah, this is probably like 1 a.m. I went there to TJ's to eat, probably after night out with a friend, and we God, what was the name? It was like ground steak or something like that. Like I forget what the full title was, but like I'm like kind of thinking it's like, okay, maybe this is somewhat resemblant of a steak, and like I asked for it like medium rare, and like the waitress just looked at me like
Like, do you know where you're at, sir?
she literally said that. She said like she was like she said you know what this is, right? And I'm like, yeah, and I didn't know what it was, but like so she ends up bringing it out, and like it's basically like a giant hamburger patty. Like it's not like a steak. It's chopsteak. That was the name of it. It was called chopsteak. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, it has steak in the name. How bad can it be? And it was yeah, that was pretty pink, and I ate it. But that was one of the few times where I was really like uncomfortable with like.
Was it like a Philly cheesesteak? I can't really picture this.
No. It was just like literally like a giant hamburger patty, like served by itself with like a couple sides. Like I think it was maybe on the breakfast menu, so maybe it came with like a biscuit and some hash browns or something like that.
So I feel like that unique, let's just call it unique experience, leads me to my next question. Do you have an example of a horrible dining experience? Like, what's one of your worst dining experiences?
If I think by this point, anyone listening, it would not confuse me as some kind of food snob, because there's definitely like I love White Castle, I love TJ's, I love all Taco Bell, any assortment of stuff that some people may consider low class. So I don't want anyone to think that's like I'm just some necessarily a food snob, but like places like Applebee's and like Fridays, like whenever I get drugged there by friends, I'm like, this sucks. Like I remember like I hadn't been to an Applebee's in like years, and maybe about a year and a half ago, a couple friends, well, they were like, oh, we have a gift certificate, so can we go? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I don't have a gift certificate, but whatever. So we go, and like we walk in, and like the waitress or the hostess right away, like before we even sit down, she like is telling us like, oh, by the way, we're out of all these things. And it was like, these were like staple. They were like, we're out of French fries, we're out of draft beer, we're out of like, she named like 5 different things that like should just kind of be normal things on a menu that they just didn't have. I guess their delivery truck or whatever didn't come. So it's like, all right, this is already off to a great start. Then we sit down, and like I forgot, I was trying to be a healthy boy that night, so I got like just the plain like grilled chicken breast with like some like green beans and like side. But it was like, it wasn't even cheap. Like if that stuff was like cheap, it'd be fine. But I paid like I don't know, like $14 like plus.
That's
tip.
madness.
Yeah, for like this like a
Frozen
plain chicken breast and a couple, like it was whatever. Like it wasn't great. Definitely, like I've definitely paid less for better at places.
I would honestly rather eat a frozen dinner at a buddy's house than go to Applebee's. Like,
yeah,
it's really
absolutely.
just like generic frozen food, and like there's no effort.
Yeah, like it's, I don't know. Like I think like identity is a bit. It's just like what are we going for here? Like a restaurant needs like an identity, and like that's why it's like Roosters. Again, I brought up Roosters earlier. Like I love going to Roosters, but like Roosters kind of knows what it is, or it's just this kind of like they got all these goofy like little sayings on the wall. They're like
free beer tomorrow.
Pretty, like, yeah, exactly. It's like bad jokes. Half of them are like super like misogynistic. It's like and they're just bad, but it's like they know what they are. Like the place kind of smells like bleach. Like the bathroom is going to be moderately dirty, but like it's cheap, and like the food's pretty good. Like
I love Roosters, dude. Like I don't know, man. I'm a super fan. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not, but
no, I am too. Like it's like if someone like whenever a friend's like, hey, where do you want to go to eat? And it's just like we don't have any ideas. Like I say Roosters.
Now, do you have any unpopular food opinions?
Probably a big thing would probably be like pasta, because like pasta is just something that like I don't know. I rarely like crave it, and it's just it's not something like it's like a plain like plate of like spaghetti or something like that. It's like
like a marinara,
for me,
like a simple red sauce.
Yeah, just like something like that. Like it's just like I could take it. Like I don't know. I'd say take it or leave it. I'd probably rather just leave it. Like
that's interesting. I feel like this is a revelation. Anti-pasta. Yeah. That is a very unpopular opinion.
I don't know. It's weird because like a kind of like a staple of like spaghetti or like a fettuccine. Like those are fine. Like a lasagna. Like I'd be pro lasagna. Partially because real G's move in silence like lasagna. That's something I heard once. But get a little Wayne reference in there. Yeah, like lasagna I like, but then I like macaroni and cheese is probably like the closest thing to like a traditional pasta dish, and it's like Yeah, there's pasta in it, but that's something I don't know. I feel like it's something kind of different. But like, yeah, just like a kind of is kind of staple like pasta stuff like that. It's not something I'm like, oh, I need it.
Now, when it comes to mac and cheese, how do you feel about breadcrumbs being baked on top?
Oh, absolutely pro, very very pro. Like
Okay, because some people
I
hate
think
it.
yeah, like which I can kind of get because I like sometimes I'll have this like a pure like that kind of purity of a I got this a helping of mac and cheese. It's like it's just pure velvety goodness. It's like there's no kind of contrast in it. And like I get the the allure of it, but like at the end of the day, like if you ask me to pick one, like I'm absolutely going for like yeah, with the nice crispy, breadcrumbs or I've seen people use like crushed up Cheez-Its.
Ooh,
It's like,
that's
all right, now
fun.
now you're just adding like more cheese on top and so like for me, like I think the biggest thing I like in food is like contrast of just like of flavors and of textures. Like that's why I'm big on like things that are like salty, sweet, savory, little bits of everything all at once. And then like yeah, with textures, so it's like oh you get creamy, you get crunchy, you get chewy, you get little bits of everything in there.
Hell yeah. Now, what about temperature? Like in New York, there's this restaurant, not really a restaurant, it's a pizza place, but they sell a regular New York style cheese slice, but then they put cold mozzarella on top when they give it to you. So you have the normal hot melty cheese, but then they put bonus cheese on top. And it's kind of polarizing. I personally like it.
It seems obviously I would try it, but yeah, it's like that one seems very strange. I guess maybe partially because I'm just so used to like a traditional pizza where it's like it's just all hot and melted. But like yeah, like I try it, but I try to keep an open mind. But yeah, that seems like one that just become a little bizarre. I don't know, like stuff like desserts, like where you get like a hot baked good with like a cold scoop of ice cream on top, like yeah, like that, you're getting hot and cold. And it's like, I like that. But so I'd try it.
I saw something on Reddit. This was insane unpopular opinion. This person said they microwave their bread instead of toasting it, and I think that's wildly inappropriate. What do you think?
Yeah, like that's what, like you just end up with like a weird, warm, soggy piece of bread. Like, yeah, that's bizarre. Like I don't keep bread like necessarily on hand a lot, but like sometimes I'll buy bread and like freeze it, which is probably insane. So then it's like, oh, if I ever on the rare occasion I just want like a piece of toast or like a piece of bread, like I can just pop it out of the freezer and like I will microwave it for like just to kind of get it de-thawed. But then I'll usually pop it in like the I'm some crazy person that doesn't have a toaster, so like I'll just pop it like under the broiler, for a few seconds, get a little toast, and it's like kind of brings it back to like a base level
That sounds gross too,
crunchiness.
bro. No offense, but that sounds awful. a pre-frozen, thawed out, broiled bread. Woof.
I mean, the broiling part, it's like that's yeah, it doesn't taste any different than like toaster bread, but I don't know, but that's what I like, yeah, because it's like I'm doing the opposite of them. It's like I'm trying to get away from the because yeah, when you microwave bread, it ends up very warm and kind of floppy and weird. It's like I'm trying to like just get a little bit of a structural integrity back to
it. Fair enough. So Josh, you're from Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, and now you live in
Yes, sir.
Columbus. Who has the better food scene, Lexington or Columbus?
Oh, Columbus by far. Like
Okay.
I don't know, like I don't know, Lexington's kind of weird. Like Lexington, it's very southern. Like there's just not a lot of we'll go with some hot takes. I don't know if anyone in Lexington hears, but like not a lot of diversity going on in Lexington, Kentucky, as you might imagine. But like up here, it's just like, yeah, there's everything. Like even like I remember like when I lived down there, there's no like I love gyros, but like down like there was no place to go get a gyro down there. Like every now and then one might pop up, but like it would last for like 5 months and then go out of business. And
People don't
yeah,
know.
like
This
up here,
taco's weird as hell.
yes, it really is. Like I don't know. I think it's gotten better since I've left. I think they've built a lot of more places, but like I don't know. Part of it feels like they're just really trying. Like I don't know, like Louisville. Like I love Louisville, and Louisville has like a really cool food scene, and it's Louisville's definitely more of a Midwestern city, and it kind of has this kind of hipsterish vibe to it. And like I think Lexington is trying to kind of be that, but I don't know. It doesn't feel organic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you never had the Lexington mouth, but your Instagram is the
Yeah.
Columbus mouth. So
Yeah. They do have a pizza place down there called Goodfellas Pizza. It's pretty good. It was infamous for getting a 0.0 score from the Dave Portnoy on Barstool Sports on his pizza reviews. It was mostly because they kicked him off the patio as he was trying to film. So he gave him a 0.0, and then all of his followers started tanking their Yelp reviews and stuff, but it ended up working out because then the whole community was like, oh, we need to get behind our local guys. So
And didn't the restaurant kind of lean into it? Like they sold shirts that said 0 out of 0 and everything. Like they just kind of owned it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they started selling shirts that said 0.0, and I think a restaurant like that, yeah, where it's you just get this notability for this really bad review or something like that. It's all right, let's lean into it. And yeah, hey, come have the worst pizza this guy ever had one time on Yelp.
That's awesome. I've had that place, and you took me there when I went down there with you back in the day, and I thought it was great. It's really fun, cool toppings. It was good.
Yeah,
It was
delicious. It was good. Oh, it's funny. This is the timing of this because I think just last week or something like that, he ended up going back to Goodfellas and gave it a fair review, and he gave it a 7.7 out of 10, which is for him that's a pretty high score. So it's all's well.
Yeah, I've had some of my followers in the past ask me to rate things, and I would just rate everything 9 to 10. It'd be pointless. I'd be like, this is amazing. I love it. 9 out of 9.5. I'm the easiest guy to please. So Josh, I know you're a big Gyro fan. Are there any 10 out of 10 Gyros in Columbus, Ohio? If so, where?
My personal favorite is King Gyros. It's this is old, this Greek diner that's been there for probably close to 30 years, I think, at this point. But gyros there are great. Everything there's great. I'll get the chicken gyros a lot, because I feel like chicken gyros can kind of be a good sign, because it's they have to kind of make the chicken the gyro. I love gyros, but a lot of times okay, just get this log that they buy from probably a lot of the same suppliers, and it's okay, just don't mess this up, and it can be decent. But a chicken, it's okay, they have to actually make the chicken themselves, and then so yeah, their chicken gyros are great. Whatever they put on them, they kind of marinate them and then give a nice flat top grilling, so you get a nice kind of crisp on the outside.
Nice.
And, they make their own dressing, and they got a whole nice cabinet of different desserts and stuff.
So yeah, I agree. I think if something's their secondary option and they do it well, obviously the normal gyro is, if they can do that, who cares? But the secondary thing, I get it. So what do you think makes a good gyro? Do you think it has to be on? For me personally, I think it has to be on the spinny meat thing. If it's the pre-cut gyro meat, I don't care for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's part of it. Where they had shave it off, where you get the kind of little crisp on the outside from where it's kind of getting kissed, just so little kiss from the flame there as it's spinning around.
Do you have pita preferences? Do some of these gyro places have good or bad pitas?
Definitely, so at King Gyro, something I like is that they'll give it a quick little touch on the pita. They'll give it a quick little touch there on the flat top. So the inside of it will get this just little bit of crisp to it, before they fold up. So it's hot, and then it gets a crisp, on to get that little extra layer. Like I said before, the kind of contrasting textures and stuff.
Hell yeah. So Josh, I think we nailed it. I asked you everything I wanted to ask you, but if there's anything that I didn't ask you, is there anything you want to talk about? Any food related stories? Maybe an Uber?
Yeah, I got an Uber story. What killed it for me was when McDonald's started getting delivered, because first of all, I'd arrived at McDonald's, food was never ready. So I'm standing around waiting 10 minutes, whatever, during a lunch rush, 10, 15 minutes. And then I'm usually just going right around the corner. So it's this kind of bare minimum amount of pay that I was getting. So that's what killed it. But I remember one time someone ordered just a milkshake from McDonald's to get delivered. And so I pick it up and I take it to the address that's on there. I'm outside, I'm knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell, whatever. Just I'm waiting. I'm always just trying to be patient with people. I'm all right, I'll give them a second. They never show up. It's in the middle of summer. It's 90 degrees out. And I'm screw this. I've tried my best. I just set the milkshake down right on the hot, blazing hot porch and walked away. And whatever happened between, that's between them and God, whatever happened to that milkshake at that point. But
did you get dinged for that? Do you get in trouble for that? Do you have to physically hand it to someone, or can you just leave it on the porch?
Oh, I did. I'm what am I supposed to do? At this point, I don't know. There's definitely points where I'm just I'm not going way out of my way to deliver someone their $2 milkshake from McDonald's,
Yeah.
It's
getting food delivered is fine, but not fast food. So like I feel like fast food has to be eaten within like 2 to 3 minutes or else it's disgusting. But like if you order from like a normal restaurant or like a pizza place, it's good enough quality it can survive the journey. But if someone delivers me, Taco Bell, McDonald's, whatever, there's zero chance I'm gonna like it. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I think that's very, yeah. See, like I guess like I live close enough. Like I've always been like I'd rather just drive like the 2 minutes to like the Wendy's down the street, than pay, whatever it is to get it delivered. I think that's part of it too. It's just like I do I need like the Wendy's delivered to my house or Taco Bell delivered? Like, yeah, that's part of it too. It's just like, all right, like, who knows how long it's gonna take, for the to go from restaurant to my house.
Yep.
So it's like
And you got to
I
tip.
know when I go to get it, yeah, it's like there's a limited amount of time, for anything to go wrong with it. Because yeah, it's like it's just once it's in the back, once it's at the drive-through window into your car, it's like the clock's ticking. Yeah,
Absolutely. So Josh, I want to plug your food account, of course, the Columbus Mouth.
yeah. It's at the Columbus Mouth there on the old gram.
You also have a toy account.
My toy account, if any of you like action figures like I do, yeah, it's Boy Wonder _ toys. Like, so Boy Wonder, one full thing _ toys.
I like when you make your videos where you do like the fun sounds and you do the accents and everything. I think it's really fun content.
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get more into that. So like, kind of scratch that creative itch. So I do improv comedy here in Columbus. You can check out at hashtag comedy CBus. Hashtag comedy is one of the improv groups I perform with here in town. We were at Shadowbox for the longest time for their weekly improv show. At some point, we'll hopefully still be opening our own little downtown theater for comedy shows. We'll have improv, we'll have stand up, we'll have sketch, just little bits of everything. So yeah, check out hashtag comedy. Also, my other one is Donut Sunday Comedy, which is just kind of like me and like my four like idiot best friends, like where we just go out and perform. And that one's fun because we just never practice, and it's just because we're already kind of share a brain basically, and it'll go off the rails real quick. Also, speaking of Donut Sunday Comedy, if anyone out there works for a donut restaurant here in town and would like to sponsor Donut Sunday Comedy, we are adamantly trying to be the first sponsored improv group in the city. And by sponsored, all I mean is like you send us a couple free T-shirts and we will whore them out and we will wear them at everything. And like we will plug your donut bakery every opportunity that we can. Maybe just put like give a little shout out on like your website and like.
Do you want free donuts too, or just the shirts is enough? Do these people got to give you some donuts?
Like so we at Franklinton, we had a monthly show at the Franklinton Fridays like art hop night that we would do at the Idea Foundry, which hopefully we'll come back at some point. But we'd always provide free. The show was free. We provided free donuts that usually just came out of our pockets. So like at most, it's like okay, maybe we'll last for like 2 dozen donuts a month for like this one free show to that we will very heavily advertise your donut business and make sure we send everyone your way.
Well, Josh, I want to end this podcast with a compliment. You're one of my great friends. We've known each other for so long. You're super funny. You're a great foodie. You're a dirty vulture, but also a fancy filet boy. You're very funny. You're a man of many hats. Your toy collection is amazing. You rule, and I hope everyone checks you out, dude.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, this was it's fun. Yeah, I could sit here and do this. Yeah, we'll have to have a part 2 at some point. We can just dive into everything. Just the hot takes, stories, all of it.
Hell yeah, man. See you in a minute for lunch, buddy.
Yeah, see ya.